young man's dream come true. 8-year-old Jarvis Brewer was drafted by the team on Sunday, making him the youngest player ever drafted into the NBA. Brewer has cerebral palsy, and the draft arrangement was a gift from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. IRN USA Radio News.
The American Veterans Center needs your help to preserve and protect our veterans' legacy so future generations will remember their service and sacrifice. You can help the center accomplish this with a gift of $25. For your support, you'll receive a free USS Indianapolis hat and commemorative book. Just go to AmericanVeteransCenter.org and click the donate button. That's AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
I had Belvita breakfast biscuits this morning. Then what did I do? Did a sit-up, did my makeup late to train, so I stood up, made a guy think I was into sports. Good points. Had a meeting where we met, then a meeting after that, took a break, and then we had another meeting.
That didn't rhyme.
Yeah, sorry. Those meetings left my brain a bit blurred.
Crunchy Belvita breakfast biscuits are made with delicious ingredients and care.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now, it's Car Concerns with the award-winning new car dealer, Harry Douglas. And now, your car star, here's Harry.
Okay, there goes the final pre-show tweet. If you've been following me on Twitter all morning since about 5 a.m., you noticed I've sent out probably 120 tweets. But anyhow, that's beside the point. Most of those tweets are picked up in our newspaper, the Car Concerns Radio Reporter USA, and that's the reason for all the tweets. But anyhow, Ken Zino, AutoInform.com. Hey, Ken, it's our last show of 2013. I want to thank you personally for being with me almost all of the year, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think we did cover the whole year, Harry, now that I recall, and you're welcome.
And oh, man, I hate it when people call on the cell phone. Yeah, here's my driver calling me.
Oh.
But anyhow, yeah, it's been a great year, and I want to thank you for being with. Hey, Tuesdays, I look forward to Tuesdays. Two car guys talking about the car business. It doesn't get any better than that.
Well, and in 2013, of course, the car business got considerably better with all of the Detroit 3 companies making money. Sales will probably finish the year somewhere north of 15.5 million units. Maybe
15.5, and you know, they're going to go into 16 million in 2014 here. I mean, it's going to be a great year.
It sure is shaping up to be that way. The auto companies are hiring again. People are buying cars and paying taxes. Employment's coming back a little bit in the automobile business, although we lost a lot of jobs.
But employment's coming back across the nation pretty good, isn't it?
Well,
I thought I saw the numbers last Friday. I thought they looked pretty good.
Well, they look good because of a statistical quirk. They eliminate the people that are so discouraged over the last couple of years that they've stopped looking for work. So, but we're still looking at 8% unemployment, and that number is understated by the politicians. That's just unacceptable in America. We got to get back to a fully working workforce, and that should be somewhere under 4% unemployment. We're at twice that rate with no end in sight. So we've got work to do on the economy.
Yeah, but I'm so glad to be off that 10 and 9%. I mean, that was scary.
Oh yeah, well, there's no doubt about it.
But like you said, a lot of those folks, they went through the process of getting their unemployment. Now they're off of it, and they're still out there unemployed. I mean, you're right. There's still millions just like that.
Well, and working and non-working people don't spend a lot of money, and since our $17 trillion gross domestic product in the United States is largely driven by consumer spending, there's a lot of concern. They're looking to see what the retail sales were for the Christmas season. I mean, those numbers aren't out yet, but it appears that it wasn't very strong. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I've heard that it wasn't very strong either. There's Hertz Global going across the board here, $127.05. It's up $1.14. We're invested in Hertz Global in the Car Concerns Auto Index 100. There goes Twitter across the board, 61.86. It's up $1.35 after taking a beating the past few days.
The Twitter, I don't understand. I mean,
you don't?
No, I don't. I mean,
Get with it, Ken. I mean, if you're not tweeting, you're not out there.
I guess I'm old-fashioned. At autoinform.com, you can get to me through the web. My phone number's up there. You can call me in the office. There's lots of ways to get to me. What we publish is what we think is interesting analysis of the automobile business, but I really don't care. I don't think people care if I'm sitting here drinking a cup of green tea right now, which seems to be most of Twitter stuff.
You'd be surprised.
Yes, I would.
You'd be surprised. But anyhow, yeah, I think Twitter's the best thing since sliced bread. I really do. And I've invested in it, and I've sold it. And I was looking for it to go a little bit lower before I reinvested in it, but it looks like it might have hit the bottom here.
Well, see, now that's the difficulty of trying to market time, so to speak, in an individual stocks. I mean, you never know. Right now, what's Ford Motor Company trading at? About $15 a share?
Yeah, I haven't seen it go across the board this morning, but I would imagine it's somewhere around $15 a share.
But that looks to me like an awfully good buying opportunity.
Yeah, but it hasn't moved in like 3 years. That's the only skank I got with Alan Mulally.
Well, and that's what's holding the stock back right now is the open question of is Mulally leaving and going to Microsoft or not? And succession at Ford is always messy. So even though the company's healthy, it's making money, it's working on its unfunded pension liability, which is really its only problem, and Europe.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Alan Mulally. Yeah, evidently he's a great CEO. He come from Boeing, and they hired him, I think, 2006. They hired him, and yeah, I've told that story a million times. But anyhow, here's what I don't get about him. I mean, the stock, when he came on board, and I bought a boatload of it, I mean, Ford stock was like at $2.25 a share. And I scraped every penny that I had. This is in 2009, the best I remember. Because I remember, I called my wife. I said, hey, every dime we have, I want. Because I'd had a Ford executive on the show. And he told me that things were really starting to pop for Ford. I took his word for it. I loaded the trunk with Ford stock and sold it in 2010 for $15 and something a share.
Well, you did fine on that.
I did great on it, but here's the thing. Okay, and I said, okay, I'll reinvest at about $10, maybe $8 a share. Well, it didn't get down to that. It stayed at $15 for 2 daggone years.
Well, yes, as they were working their way out of the debt, because they borrowed, $25 billion to see themselves through the recession. They had to retool their plants. Their product line needed to be refreshed. All those things have now been done. They're paying a dividend. And as I said, they're making money. So over the next 2 years, particularly in the U.S. market, and as the U.S. truck market continues to come back, and Ford is the leader, of course, with the F-Series pickup truck, as that happens, I mean, that stock is got room to go. I mean, it's
You would think. I mean, what's the deal? It's trading at $15, $16 a share. You've got General Motors up there in the $30 range. And, I don't think General Motors is a better store than Ford is. As a matter of fact, I think Ford's got it all in play, and General Motors, well, let's wait and see kind of thing.
General Motors is also an interesting case because they are healthy and returning to profitability. I mean, they've made money, 7 or 8 straight quarters now. Their balance sheet has never looked better. They've got a new line of pickup.
Yeah, but they got that one negative over there to the right-hand side, and it's what it owes to the U.S. taxpayer, the retail automotive consumer, the American motorist of this country, and it's about $10 billion that they seem like they're never going to pay us back on.
Well, they've still got some balance sheet issues and things to clean up. I wouldn't say never, but the government's written off the investment. As you know, I was not in favor of the Treasury Department selling its stock at a loss because GM stock right now, I think, can go to $50 in the next 12 months. We should, as taxpayers and stockholders of General Motors, I felt that we should just hang on to the stock since we already owned it. Why not ride it a bit?
You know, back when the stock before 2000, back in late 2012, the stock was hitting somewhere around $18 a share. And I got on the wagon and I told everybody that listened to this show, if you invest in the stock market, if you're a hedge fund listening out there, if you're Warren Buffett out there, I want you to go to where you buy your stocks, and I want you to buy as much General Motors stock as you can. Because this was about $18, $17 stock at this time. And I said, folks, the only way that we are ever going to get our money back from General Motors, because Dan Ackerson has said that he's not going to pay the retail automotive consumer, the American taxpayer, back. The only way we can do it is get the stock price up before the Treasury starts selling it. And I think at that time the break-even point was around $38 a share. Well, after they sold the first round,
it went up to about 90.
Yeah, no, it went up to about $54 a share, and then after they did the third round, you're right, it went up to about 90. I mean, we got screwed. That's just all there is to it. And General Motors has an excellent chance with money in the balance sheet to pay the American taxpayer, the retail automotive consumer, the American motorist back. But if they don't do it, I think they're in trouble. We'll be right back after the break. I'm Harry Douglas, Ken Zino, AutoInform.com. Right back after the break.
Take advantage of the Car Concerns Radio USA 10-year anniversary special, a 15-minute segment heard in 33 markets on a nationally syndicated radio show for only $125. This is radio that makes it economical and affordable for you to get the word out about what you do, driving your message home. It's the 10-year anniversary special, just $125 for a 15-minute airtime segment. Segments can be booked for a later date. There are limited spots available. Call Car Concerns Radio USA now, 1-855-CAR-CONCERNS. That's 855-227-2662.
Ah, the sound of small business, getting busier. Can you tell which one is using AT&T? Truth is, they all are, because businesses of all kinds can find AT&T customizable plans that fit their exact needs. Whether it's broadband, mobility, or nationwide voice, at AT&T, we can help your business get humming.
I need more receipt paper, please.
Call 1-855-877-4288 today and ask about special offers available for new small business packages. AT&T, rethink possible.
Moms of America, stand up and stop taking abuse from your kids.
I pledge never to let my kid disrespect me ever again.
I pledge to stop letting my daughter walk all over me.
I pledge to stop living in fear of my son's anger.
I pledge never to feel like a bad parent ever again. Because I'm not.
I pledge to stop letting my child's behavior control my home.
I pledge to be a mom with kids who listen, a total transformation mom.
I'm Janet Lehman, co-creator of the Total Transformation Program. We created the Total Transformation to help parents with difficult child behavior. Now I'm giving it away free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. We'll let you keep it for free.
Call 1-800-287-9157. That's 1-800-287-9157. Call now. That's 1-800-287-9157. That's 1-800-287-9157.
With over 1 million products, Grainger's your one-stop shop to help keep your facility running. And no one has more of the best brands, like Fluke. Grainger has an enormous selection of Fluke testing tools, including the VTO2 visual thermometer, a breakthrough in temperature measurement. The brands you want, the products you need, the good-looking radio guy you love to hear. Okay, I added that part. Buy your supplies smarter. Call, visit a branch, or click Grainger.com/Fluke today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Geico says, let's make life simpler. You need to buy something, but you don't want to make a mistake. So what do? Scour the web? Collect sales circulars? Ask your brother-in-law? How about this? When it comes to car insurance, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating. I repeat, 97%. So make it simple. Just ask a friend who has Geico. Then click or call. You could make it 98%.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Jay Farner here from Quicken Loans. We get a lot of tweets from folks that sound just like this. Jay, I bought my home in 2007. Since then, it's gone down in value. Now I owe more on my mortgage than my home is worth. Can I refinance? The answer may very well be yes. Recently, the government announced changes that may allow folks to refinance even if their home has lost value. For example, if you owe $300,000 on your mortgage, but your home's only worth $150,000, Quicken Loans may still be able to help you. Or if your current mortgage rate is higher than 3.99%, you've got to give us a call today at 800-QUICKEN. And for 3 years in a row now, J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. So, if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, or if you owe more than your home is worth, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
For J.D. Power & Associates award information, visit jdpower.com. Important terms and conditions apply. Calls for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back with Car Concerns. Don't you follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/Car Concerns, all one word, CarConcerns, and on my personal tweets at twitter.com/Harry Douglas, and that's all one word, HarrDouglas, one S, please. And, follow us there. Hey, I love to have people following my tweets. I guess everybody thinks that their tweets are the most important tweets out there. But anyhow, Ken Zino, he doesn't tweet, but he writes a darn good blog here. It's autoinform.com. One of the stories here, Chesapeake Energy, and we're invested in Chesapeake Energy to pay millions for wetlands destruction. Some more of that global warming, huh, Ken?
Well, no, and then in this case, it was the energy company, as part of their natural gas exploration activities, were filling in streams and stuff to cut access roads in violation of the Clean Water Act. And so they've agreed to pay a fine. They haven't really admitted any guilt, and they're not going to prosecute any executives. It's probably looked at by Chesapeake stockholders as just the cost of doing business, because it's only, a couple $1 million, which is nothing. Chesapeake Energy, of course, is the second largest producer of natural gas in the United States. It's an Oklahoma-based company, but the violations occurred in West Virginia. So that's the reason Auto Informed is interested in natural gas and EPA is because it looks like for commercial vehicles, it's a great solution for people such as UPS and FedEx to...
and trucking companies.
Yeah, to fuel their vehicles, particularly local delivery companies, because storage is still problematic with natural gas. You need big tanks, and they're high-pressure tanks. But if you're doing local delivery, you can buy natural gas at the cost of, it's under $2 a gallon. So on an energy equivalent basis to get,
right.
So it just makes a lot of sense. And in fact, some of the natural gas companies will even front the money. So if you're, you said you have Hertz, say you're Hertz or Penske Trucking, right? They'll come into your facility and they'll put in the tanks.
They'll front you the money for the tanks and the and I guess the pumps or the mechanism that hooks up to the vehicle.
Yes, they will do that, and all they do is they just tack on a slight charge per gallon that you
surcharge, right?
While we talk a lot about cars and electric vehicles and ethanol on this show, one of the real energy success stories in the United States is natural gas, and I think it's about to explode. So
I've talked about it for years on this show.
Yeah, but now we've got wonderful supplies of it, and the price is stable to falling, and we don't have to worry about corrupt foreign governments or terrorists. I mean, we can produce the stuff here, and we do.
Right. We've got it all ourselves, right.
Right. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. And the guys with the green eye shades, so to speak, the accountants at these trucking companies or delivery services are starting to wake up here and say, you know, this makes sense. I mean, now Honda's the only U.S. car company that actually sells a factory natural gas car, propane car.
General Motors did for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, they do conversions, but Honda actually builds Civics.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to me, that's a key difference.
From the ground up, right?
Yeah, I mean, when they stand behind it and do it themselves, and you're Honda, I think that's a good solution. That's intriguing. I mean, I'm not saying anything against converters. I mean, Jack Roush, the famous NASCAR car owner, Roush is doing a lot of conversions up here and has a whole new division that's dedicated to that, and I'm sure that they're fine too. But so far, in the car market or the light vehicle market, it hasn't really taken off. But it's here for commercial vehicles. So, and here, Ford across the board at 1528, Harry.
Okay, I didn't see it. I see the Bank of America going across the board, and I hate that bank. 1557. I've never banked with them. I just have read some of the. Well, they really did people wrong on mortgages.
Yes, they did, and nobody has been prosecuted for that, which is unbelievable to me.
Well, they pay. You read about all these high rollers that get prosecuted and they're going to get sent to jail, but 9 times out of 10, they pay their way out of it. They buy their way out of it.
Well, and under the toothless SEC, I mean, they cut deals where they don't admit criminal responsibility, and so they just pay a fine and walk away.
I tell you what, I went to yesterday evening. It's been quiet around the Car Concerns compound for about a week now, 2 weeks. We had the Christmas break, and then everybody just took off the week after Christmas, and nobody's returned yet. But Kat came through yesterday, and I said, "What are you doing?" And hey, we went to the movie. We went and saw a movie. We went, the matinee. You can go see those pretty cheap. But
you actually went and sat in the movie?
I did. I wanted to see this movie. It's The Wolf on Wall Street. Have you heard about it?
Yeah, but I'm just amazed that people still go to theaters. I mean, because most people have, and don't you have a big 3D TV set? No.
I do. We have here at the Car Concerns compound, we have a movie room where you can sit and watch movies on the big 3D, big screen TV. But I do like to go to the movies. It's a good chance to get away, sit there. You're not, if the phone rings or any, you're committed to sitting there watching the movie.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
True, but what drives me crazy about the theaters these days is you pay to go to the movie, and then they run 20 minutes of commercials before they start the movie.
Well, I understand that. They got to pay. They got to pay for the place.
Speaking of movies, are there any drive-in theaters?
Yeah, we have several drive-in theaters around here, and back during the second quarter or whatever, back in the spring, Honda was putting on a big thing to promote drive-in theaters.
Yes, they were giving them money to convert to the newer projection system.
Right. I forget who won it, but we have several operating drive-ins in this area right here still today.
We still have one hanging on in Dearborn, which, of course, is the home of Ford Motor Company. It's called the Wyoming, and it's an old family operation, but I don't know how much longer it's going to hang on. But they're still running, and they run in the off season and stuff. They run flea markets on the property so that they can get some revenue that way.
I noticed one of your stories here, and we were talking. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Honda cops plea deal on mileage fraud class action. That's a story on autoinform.com. We're going to talk about it when we get back.
That's Hyundai, Harry.
Ken Zino, what did I say? Honda? It's
Hyundai.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But anyhow, right back after the break. Hey, go see The Wolf on Wall Street. If you want to see what my life was like as a new car dealer and how fast that life was, go see this movie and just imagine that this dude is a new car dealer. We'll be right back after the break.
Take advantage of the Car Concerns Radio USA 10-year anniversary special, a 15-minute segment heard in 33 markets on a nationally syndicated radio show for only $125. This is radio that makes it economical and affordable for you to get the word out about what you do, driving your message home. It's the 10-year anniversary special, just $125 for a 15-minute airtime segment. Segments can be booked for a later date. There are limited spots available. Call Car Concerns Radio USA now, 1-855-CAR-CONCERNS. That's 855-227-2662.
Ah, the sound of small business, getting busier. Can you tell which one is using AT&T? Truth is, they all are, because businesses of all kinds can find AT&T customizable plans that fit their exact needs. Whether it's broadband, mobility, or nationwide voice, at AT&T, we can help your business get humming.
I need more receipt paper, please.
Call 1-855-877-4288 today and ask about special offers available for new small business packages. AT&T, rethink possible.
Moms of America, stand up and stop taking abuse from your kids.
I pledge never to let my kid disrespect me ever again.
I pledge to stop letting my daughter walk all over me.
I pledge to stop living in fear of my son's anger.
I pledge never to feel like a bad parent ever again. Because I'm not.
I pledge to stop letting my child's behavior control my home.
I pledge to be a mom with kids who listen, a total transformation mom.
I'm Janet Lehman, co-creator of the Total Transformation Program. We created the Total Transformation to help parents with difficult child behavior. Now I'm giving it away free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. We'll let you keep it for free.
Call 1-800-287-9157. That's 1-800-287-9157. Call now. That's 1-800-287-9157. That's 1-800-287-9157.
With over 1 million products, Grainger's your one-stop shop to help keep your facility running. And no one has more of the best brands, like Fluke. Grainger has an enormous selection of Fluke testing tools, including the VTO2 visual thermometer, a breakthrough in temperature measurement, the brands you want, the products you need, the good-looking radio guy you love to hear. Okay, I added that part. Buy your supplies smarter. Call, visit a branch, or click Grainger.com/Fluke today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Geico says, let's make life simpler.
You need to buy something, but you don't want to make a mistake. So what do? Scour the web? Collect sales circulars? Ask your brother-in-law? How about this? When it comes to car insurance, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating. I repeat, 97%. So make it simple. Just ask a friend who has Geico. Then click or call. You could make it 98%.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Jay Farner here from Quicken Loans. We get a lot of tweets from folks that sound just like this. Jay, I bought my home in 2007. Since then, it's gone down in value. Now I owe more on my mortgage than my home is worth. Can I refinance? The answer may very well be yes. Recently, the government announced changes that may allow folks to refinance even if their home has lost value. For example, if you owe $300,000 on your mortgage, but your home's only worth $150,000, Quicken Loans may still be able to help you. Or if your current mortgage rate is higher than 3.99%, you've got to give us a call today at 800-QUICKEN. And for 3 years in a row now, J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. So, if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, or if you owe more than your home is worth, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
For J.D. Power & Associates award information, visit jdpower.com. Important terms and conditions apply. Calls for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Harry Douglas of Car Concerns Radio has been helping the American motorist with their auto financing problems since 2008, when the American Motorist Vote Campaign was founded. Thousands of American motorists have not only lost their jobs in this economy, but they've also lost their homes and vehicles due to repossession. If you are behind on your payments and facing possible repossession of your automobile, you need to contact Car Concerns Consulting, 1-865-622-3032. Harry's always looking out for you. Harry has financed thousands of vehicles for the retail automotive consumer over the years as an award-winning new car dealer. If anyone knows the ins and outs of automobile financing, it's Harry. Let Harry put these unknown banking loopholes to work for you. If you need the auto financing fix, just call Harry. 1-865-622-3032.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back with Car Concerns. I tweeted this during the break, Ken. Harry's high-end automobile fund, buying, selling, trading, inquiries welcome. And then I put a great picture in there, and then I put, yes, investors are welcome. But I put a picture in there that I took, probably a couple of years ago, and I believe it was at the LA Auto Show. And it was a Hyundai was showing an electric vehicle, and it had two great-looking models laying all over the car. So I had to take the pic, and I just tweeted it. So if you go to my Twitter stream, or the Car Concerns Radio Twitter stream, at Car Concerns, CarConcerns, I include a lot of pictures.
So you didn't ask the models to move out of the way so you could photograph the car?
I took them for a cocktail after the show.
You better be careful. Your wife might be listening.
She knows. She knows.
Anyway, just before the break, we were talking...
Hey, Ken, that's how she met me.
Oh, okay. We were just talking about how today is actually Hyundai CEO John Kravchuk, who was in product planning and product development at Ford Motor Company. Then he went to Hyundai, and he was the CEO for the last 5 years. Today is his last day. The company won't say whether he was fired or he resigned, but part of it, I'm convinced, at least in auto-informed opinion, has to do with this EPA mileage fraud that both Hyundai and Kia got caught in, and where they overstated the mileage by as much as 6 miles per gallon.
But Ken, don't you think that that all automobile companies are probably doing this? I remember last year or sometime there was a lawyer out in California. She'd bought a new Honda.
It was a Civic.
Excuse me?
Civic, I think.
Yeah, Honda Civic hybrid. She bought it because it was advertised to get 50-plus miles to a gallon, and she's one of these folks that, you know, she tested it, and she said she got nowhere near 50 miles to a gallon, and she was mad as hell about it.
Maybe some of that has to do with driving style, but you raised several good issues. The first issue you raise is, are automobile companies putting their best mileage numbers forward? You bet they are, because it's marketing, right?
Right.
So are they...
It gets them in the door.
Are they gaming the EPA test? You bet they are, because they're computerized dynamometer tests. I think most of your listeners probably don't realize that it's not the EPA that's testing the cars. The EPA only spot checks. The automobile companies self-certify. And then if EPA gets complaints, they go in and run tests and see if there's a difference, which is how Hyundai and Kia got caught. But that also raises a larger issue, which is the government, through the EPA, is actually promoting and advertising fuel economy, and I'm a little bit uncomfortable with it, frankly.
Well, I'd never even thought about it until this lawyer contacted me. She said she was just furious about this Honda Civic that she bought, and there was a class action at the time, and she didn't join the class action. She sued Honda herself. Now the results of that lawsuit, I think she lost, and there you go. It's the small guy going up against the big guy, and the big guy 9 times out of 10 is going to win that fight.
Well, and we should point out, to be fair, or at least quasi-fair, how you drive can drastically affect the mileage of your car, no matter what car it is. And in the case of hybrids, they are particularly good at stop-and-go urban driving. But if you get a hybrid particularly the earlier generation hybrids, out on the highway,
right,
you're doing 80 or 90 miles an hour, you're not going to see the fuel economy that's up there on the combined label. That's just the way the car is designed and how it works. The advantage of a hybrid is it adds energy to accelerate the car at lower speeds, but it doesn't help you at higher speeds.
Now, I brought up Honda, but let's see. During this year also, the Ford C-Max was caught fudging on the miles, right?
Yes, they did. I mean, so as I said earlier, there's a lot of games going on in fuel economy, and that's why I'm so uncomfortable with the EPA. They've adjusted the mileage that they print on the label on the car twice now.
Yeah, it's an average now. It's wild. It's weird.
Well, there's that label. Actually, if you go into a car dealership,
I'm looking at the one on the Lexus I'm driving right now, and it used to come out with, it had the city and highway, but in big print right here, it's got the average 21 miles per gallon.
Yeah,
and then over here in smaller print, it's got 19 city and 26 highway.
Right, and then there's more information on that label than ever, and so I guess the information is there if you research it, but those labels are getting pretty confusing, and in fact, a lot of car companies are now putting a second label on. General Motors is putting an environmental label on the window next to the Monroney sticker. The Monroney sticker is, of course, named after Senator Monroney, is the price of the car, and it lists the price of the car and taxes and options, etc. Then you've got an EPA sticker that's now part of that. Now you got people doing environmental stickers. Pretty soon here, you're not going to be able to look out the window because you're going to have so many stickers on cars.
Yeah, and you got a government 5-star safety rating as well.
Oh yes, that's right. You now have people picking up and that's an independent thing, but of course, NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
What do you mean that it's an independent thing? I mean, it says government 5-star safety ratings.
But there's no requirement to post that. I mean, the car companies do it because it's marketing again, and it's good to do that. But you have to post the Monroney sticker, and you have to post the EPA sticker. That's in the law.
Right.
You have no choice about that.
Right. If it's not on a new car, you've got the dealer right where you want him, and you need to document it. But Monroney's when you get the possession of the Monroney is after you buy the car. What we used to do at my dealership, after the consumer bought the car, we took it back and we prepped it, and we soaked the Monroney and peeled it off whole and presented it to the consumer with the rest of his paperwork.
Well, that was nice of you. You didn't have to do that.
Well, I just felt like they needed to know what they were buying.
Well, that's consumer friendly.
I was that. After I got your money, I was consumer friendly all over you.
Well, you talk about another two.
You know what really used to tick me off though, and I lost a couple of car deals off this. The guy, my Steve, who would be back there prepping the car, he'd come back and say, "Hey, this customer came up to me, and he wants me to take our car cow, which is the name of the dealership, where it's at, the phone number. You know what I'm talking about. It's always situated on the left side of the trunk.
Yep.
So drivers behind can see where that car come from. And I also had a good-looking front license plate with the name of the dealership, and I had licensing from the Tennessee Vols, so it had a big T on the front of it. But I would have, from time to time, Steve would come up and say, "Hey, we've got this customer back here, and he doesn't want the car cow, he doesn't want the front license plate." And I remember a woman from Kentucky was adamant about this. Of course, I kind of understood she didn't want to ride around with a big orange T up there in Kentucky land.
Yeah, you can understand that.
But here's what I explained to her. I said, "Look, Miss Jennings," and her name wasn't Miss Jennings. I'm just pulling that out of the air. "Look, Miss Jennings," I said, "I pay a lot of money to get advertising to you for you to drive down from Kentucky and buy a car from me instead of a dealer up in Kentucky." I said, "It's very important for me to let the folks around you know that you came to my dealership to get the deal that you got. Now, look, if you don't want the front license plate on there and you don't want the car cow on the back of it, I'm not going to take them off. You can do it, but if you're insisting on me taking it off, I would just rather back this deal up right now because, hey, I didn't make that much money on it anyhow.
Yeah, well, I mean, and of course you're right, and you could just take a hairdryer to it if it was a decal, and people do that and still do that.
Not so much. I mean, you see cars all over the place with the car cows on them.
Well, but actually, the dealers have gotten better at them. I mean, over the years. I mean, they used to be kind of garish and stuff, but now they blend in with the car, and they're not offensive, in my opinion, in a lot of cases.
Oh, I got a Ford dealer right here in town. I learned a lot from this Ford dealer. He's an old guy now. I mean, he's up there. But hey, he would put two holes in your trunk lid there. He would screw his car cows on. They were metal, and he would screw them on. If you took them off, you had two holes in your trunk. But anyhow, Ken Zino, autoinformed.com. We'll be right back after this short, beautiful break.
Take advantage of the Car Concerns Radio USA 10-year anniversary special, a 15-minute segment heard in 33 markets on a nationally syndicated radio show for only $125. This is radio that makes it economical and affordable for you to get the word out about what you do, driving your message home. It's the 10-year anniversary special, just $125 for a 15-minute airtime segment. Segments can be booked for a later date. There are limited spots available. Call Car Concerns Radio USA now, 1-855-CAR-CONCERNS. That's 855-227-2662.
Ah, the sound of small business getting busier. Can you tell which one is using AT&T? Truth is, they all are, because businesses of all kinds can find AT&T customizable plans that fit their exact needs. Whether it's broadband, mobility, or nationwide voice, at AT&T, we can help your business get humming.
I need more receipt paper, please.
Call 1-855-877-4288 today and ask about special offers available for new small business packages. AT&T, rethink possible.
Moms of America, stand up and stop taking abuse from your kids.
I pledge never to let my kid disrespect me ever again.
I pledge to stop letting my daughter walk all over me.
I pledge to stop living in fear of my son's anger.
I pledge never to feel like a bad parent ever again. Because I'm not.
I pledge to stop letting my child's behavior control my home.
I pledge to be a mom with kids who listen, a total transformation mom.
I'm Janet Lehman, co-creator of the Total Transformation Program. We created the Total Transformation to help parents with difficult child behavior. Now I'm giving it away free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. We'll let you keep it for free.
Call 1-800-287-9157. That's 1-800-287-9157. Call now. That's 1-800-287-9157. That's 1-800-287-9157.
With over 1 million products, Grainger's your one-stop shop to help keep your facility running. And no one has more of the best brands. Like Fluke, Grainger has an enormous selection of Fluke testing tools, including the VTO2 visual thermometer, a breakthrough in temperature measurement. The brands you want, the products you need, the good-looking radio guy you love to hear. Okay, I added that part. Buy your supplies smarter. Call, visit a branch, or click Grainger.com/Fluke today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Geico says, let's make life simpler.
You need to buy something, but you don't want to make a mistake. So what do? Scour the web? Collect sales circulars? Ask your brother-in-law? How about this? When it comes to car insurance, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating. I repeat, 97%. So make it simple. Just ask a friend who has Geico. Then click or call. You could make it 98%.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Jay Farner here from Quicken Loans. We get a lot of tweets from folks that sound just like this. Jay, I bought my home in 2007. Since then, it's gone down in value. Now I owe more on my mortgage than my home is worth. Can I refinance? The answer may very well be yes. Recently, the government announced changes that may allow folks to refinance even if their home has lost value. For example, if you owe $300,000 on your mortgage, but your home's only worth $150,000, Quicken Loans may still be able to help you. Or if your current mortgage rate is higher than 3.99%, you've got to give us a call today at 800-QUICKEN. And for 3 years in a row now, J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. So, if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, or if you owe more than your home is worth, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
For J.D. Power and Associates award information, visit jdpower.com. Important terms and conditions apply. Calls for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Harry Douglas of Car Concerns Radio has been helping the American motorist with their auto financing problem since 2008, when the American Motorist Vote Campaign was founded. Thousands of American motorists have not only lost their jobs in this economy, but they've also lost their homes and vehicles due to repossession. If you are behind on your payments and facing possible repossession of your automobile, you need to contact Car Concerns Consulting, 1-865-622-3032. Harry's always looking out for you. Harry has financed thousands of vehicles for the retail automotive consumer over the years as an award-winning new car dealer. If anyone knows the ins and outs of automobile financing, it's Harry. Let Harry put these unknown banking loopholes to work for you. If you need the auto financing fix, just call Harry. 1-865-622-3032.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back with Car Concerns. And man, I'm just tweeting like a fool during this show. Let's see, Harry's high-end automobile fund, buying, selling, trading, inquiries. Yes, investors are welcome. Hey, Ken, I'm looking at. Okay, we have the Car Concerns vehicles, all the cars that we've collected over the years and whatnot, and the cars that we buy and sell, and we have them in a warehouse. It's kind of off the beaten path. And I have found an old, closed grocery store right on the main drag near my house. And I'm looking to buy this. It's a shopping center. And I'm looking to buy the whole shopping center and turn the grocery store part, which is now completely cleared off. It'll have to be remodeled, but it's completely empty. And turning this into the Car Concerns classic cars. What do you think?
Well, are you going to sell them or just display them?
Oh, yeah, we buy, sell, and trade them.
Okay, so I guess the first question is, it's not a bad idea.
I've been doing it for years, Ken.
Yeah,
it's in my blood. It's in my blood. I can't stop.
Got it. I mean, can you get any development money to help you do this?
Well, that's what I put in the tweet. Yes, investors are welcome. Hey, it'll be a great return on your money. I promise you that. Hey, you're making about 2, 3, 4% in your savings account. You put it right here, and I guarantee you're going to. Well, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but you'll have a return of what, 10, 12%. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, then the question is, would the state or the town help you too?
Oh yes, I've got the city who's going to give me some tax breaks. Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like then you just need to. You're going to be back going to auctions and stuff again, though, Harry.
Oh yeah, and out front, huge parking lot. On the weekends, I'm going to have classic car shows.
Now that's local classic car shows. We don't talk about that much, but they're going on all over the country. I mean, there's, of course, the big one, Pebble Beach, for the very wealthy.
The concourse, yeah.
And, of course, there's the Woodward Dream Cruise here in Michigan, which is more of a mainstream event because they're basically 50s and 60s and 70 cars for people in the industry mostly, and who own them but actually drive them. And I enjoy Woodward more than I do Pebble because Pebble, those things are museum pieces. They don't get driven. And I happen to believe that if you own a classic car, you should drive it, at least enjoy it.
Well, you know, we do drive ours, but we drive them very sparingly. You know, we just take them out and keep the motors in good shape and keep the car running in proper order. That's about all that they get drove.
Well, you got to be careful here in Michigan because in the winter they dump so much salt on the roads and stuff that you don't want to be taking out your classic car in the winter, so you're basically down to the.
Well, if you take it out, you as soon as you get it back, you just got to water it down and rub it down, right?
Oh yeah, but that's a lot of work. I mean.
No, it's not. Not if you've got an investment.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to take it out and drive it, I mean, when I get the Car Concerns Corvette out of the garage, I take it out and I drive it. I pull it in the driveway. I get the hose out. I hose it off. And if it needs soap, I'll soap it. But if I hose it off, 9 times out of 10, I'll just take the chamois and wipe the water off.
I'm just looking here. The Corvette sold in November 2,500 vehicles, which basically doubled the sales from November the year before.
That 2014 Corvette is a bad hombre.
Oh yeah,
it's a horrible time for me to be in a fight with General Motors. I promise you that. I had big plans for the 2014 Corvette. I was going to get General Motors to give me one. You know, they'll sell you one for $1 if you customize it. And I was going to get General Motors to make a deal with General Motors on the Corvette, and I was going to take the 2014 Corvette and the Car Concerns commemorative 2004 Corvette, which has been just fermenting in the garage, take them out on a tour. But I guess that's kind of canned now.
Well, you have to go on to another.
Screw General Motors. Hey, screw General Motors.
Well, I mean, it's the healthiest General Motors in my lifetime.
Yeah, but hey, they'll screw it up. I mean, good gosh. They just put a woman at the CEO helm. I know, Mary Barra, she's a shark. You know, I remember back, I believe it was in 2006 or 2007, when they were fixing to bring the Chevrolet Volt on. I think that it was Mary Barra that I interviewed at the North American Automobile Show up in Detroit back in 2007 on that vehicle. I think General Motors sent her up to the OnStar Sound Studios where I was doing the show, and I think it was Mary Barra that I interviewed.
Well, Bob Lutz was...
Lutz was supposed to be my interview. And they couldn't get him away from the floor to get him up to the 400 tower of the Ren Center.
The Ren Center, yes. Well, I remember that introduction. I don't remember Mary speaking on that, but in defense of Mary, she's an engineer, a GMI graduate. She came up through factories and product development. She was key to Akerson's reorganization plans where he's consolidating engineering centers so that they could get back to achieving economies of scale. She's clearly now the highest-ranked woman in the automobile business. There's no debate about that.
And she's just got women jumping up and down all over the place.
She's got a tough job, but the wind's at her back. GM's got the best product line in history. The market is coming back. They got new trucks coming, mid-size trucks on top of the full-size trucks. Their passenger cars are doing really well. They have 2 finalists for the North American Car of the Year, the Car and Truck of the Year, that will be announced at the Detroit show this year. That's a week away yet. But
I'm going to go to the CES show out in Las Vegas instead of the North American Automobile Show.
Well, we can double team it then. You do CES and I'll do North American International Automobile Show.
Sounds good.
So, but the Cadillac CTS, the Corvette, and the Chevrolet Silverado are all finalists in this year's North American Car and Truck of the Year. You could see a General Motors sweep. I mean, I don't see how.
Trifecta, huh?
Well, they only get 2. So the Silverado, I can't see anybody picking anything else this year in the categories. It certainly is my choice. But the Corvette versus the CTS Cadillac, that's interesting.
I tell you what, for my car of the year, it's got to be the Lexus 460 LF. I mean, what a fantastic car.
That's a good choice, too, but they're not up there this year.
Well, they should be. Hey, it trumps anything else that's out there on the market. I've drove them, and I don't see how Toyota builds such a fantastic automobile. But anyhow, Ken Zino, AutoInform.com. Hey, thanks for being with me on Car Concerns Radio. I'm Harry Douglas, and I'll talk to you in the morning.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
station, Business Talk Radio Network, its management, or advertisers. The information on the Business Talk Radio Network
some word. The National Security Agency has been discovered to have the ability to spy on computers from as far as 8 miles away by hacking into their Wi-Fi systems. Security experts speaking at the Chaos Communications Conference exposed a program called Nightstand, which used the device to play spy software on Windows-based computers. The Nightstand device was first used in 2008, leading security experts to say it's very likely the NSA has more advanced programs